dinaa ci sànni rek ay baat ci anglais. I would like to really state here to the international community what is really going on in Senegal right now. We have been communicating with several governments, human rights organizations, international institutions, independent leaders about the situation we are living right now in Senegal. With thousands of people in jail, with 4 candidates in jail, including the leader of the opposition, Ousmane Sonko. We have been in a process that has been set in motion for electoral fraud. Electoral fraud has been set in motion in Senegal, starting with the Minister of Justice, who decided on his own that Ousmane Sonko wouldn't be a candidate, and he's been excluded from the electoral list. We demonstrated that that was not true. The Minister of Interior, who himself should be out of the election process because he cannot be judge and party. There is a high conflict of interest in Senegal because the Minister of Interior should not be in charge of organizing elections. Both President Abdou Diouf and President Abdoulaye Wade identified independent personalities to lead the electoral process until the verdict and the declaration of the candidates. But Ousmane Sonko, President Macky Sall refused to do so. He openly said he will install his Minister of Interior, who is a high active member of his political party. Now, what did the Minister of Interior did? The Minister of Interior hosts the government delegation that is in charge of administrative process in terms of handing over papers to candidates. That institution, which is called DGE, Direction of the Elections, decided that, yes, what the Minister of Justice said is true. Ousmane Sonko cannot be a candidate because he's on the list. 2 judgments, 2 courts, in Ziguinchor and in Dakar, overruled this and said that, of course, Ousmane Sonko is a candidate. We demand you, we give you orders to give him all of his sponsorship papers and allow him to be a candidate. We all knew that, we all thought that after that, well, we could just wait now for the 7 judges that there's a constitutional court of Senegal that are supposed to be overseeing the election process and accepting the candidates' proposal and their file as candidate. We were extremely surprised, and I have sent a note on the 12th of January that had been circulated worldwide in Africa and beyond to say that African Senegalese people, African people in the whole world is looking at the Senegalese Constitutional Council. This Constitutional Council of 7 judges has the responsibility to receive all of the files of the candidate that are supposed to be sealed, and they will be only open in the presence of a representative of the candidates. What happened? In the case of the President Ousmane Sonko, the Electoral Council, after receiving many candidates, decided to open the sealed file of President Ousmane Sonko and rejected his representative, telling him that Mr. Sonko's file was incomplete, which is completely untrue. Today, beside the candidacy of Mr. Sonko, we have seen several mishandlings, several systems of fraud that have been put in motion in terms of opening files of candidates, tampering with the list, adding people, removing other people. And at the end of the day, the Minister of Interior declared that the electoral file of Senegal is not up to date. Hello? Here we are having a council of judges that is supposed to examine what files candidates have deposited, and we are being told that the electoral file, the list of electors in Senegal is not complete. So on what basis is our Constitutional Council working on? And they never said a word about it. So we are saying it is high time for the Senegal Constitutional Council to go back to basis, to respect the law, to respect the constitution, and to allow Ousmane Sonko's representative to come to present his case. And if he does so, he will be eligible and he will be a candidate, like all the 2 judgments have said. So we are saying, in Senegal, we want peace. We are going towards elections that are very contentious, but that can be very done in peace. If the Senegalese people are allowed to select who they want as their president. Doing so means letting eligible candidate in a transparent and fair process be a candidate. And this is what we are asking for President Macky Sall. This is what we are asking to the government. This is what we are asking to the Constitutional Council, and we are asking the world to testify and to be witness to what is going on in Senegal. Any observer coming in our country to observe election should start by observing this process. Do not come here and say that you are going to look at the vote. There is something that comes before the vote, meaning inclusive process of including all eligible candidates. It means a fair process. It means a transparent process. We cannot accept conflict of interest. Right now, we are having conflict of interest. Members of the party of President Macky Sall that are tampering at all levels in this process. And we want this to stop. We want this to stop because we think that it is still possible to put these judges under their responsibility and for them to do the right thing. I would like to really thank you for listening and hope that everyone will come and watch Senegal and tell the President Macky Sall that it is time for him to leave and go continue his own life. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, President Yassine.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Alors nous allons poursuivre après Yassine, le docteur Mohamed